good morning. Today I come up with a very useful and popular topic that is called SSL certificate. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn that how we can generate the SSL certificate, and simultaneously we are going to verify it under the testing sections. It means that whatever the certificate we are generating, we will apply this certificate with one of the web server, and that web server is based on Apache or the HTTPD web server. Guys, when we want to establish the secure connectivity between the users and the web server, we must have to apply encrypted communications. And in order to obtain encrypted communications, we have to apply SSL certificate on the web server. That's all we are going to learn from this tutorial. Hello guys, my name is Avinash and you are watching the Learning Destination. Now let's quickly take a look at today's agenda. So in first sections, we are going to understand that how the SSL works. We are closely see that how the encrypted communications established between the user, browser and the web server. Then after that, we will move towards that how we can generate the SSL keys, and it will be completely the lab sections. Under the lab sections, we are going to cover the following topic: generate key pair, extract private key, create certificate signing request, create final certificate.crt file using .csr and .key file. After that, finally, we will be moving towards the testing, and under the testing, we will be apply this certificate on one of the web server that is based on Apache and HTTPD, and finally, we will verify this certificate. Now, let's deeply understand that how the SSL works. Let's suppose that this is one of the user and he is trying to access the avinash.com, and avinash.com is currently under the SSL certificate and it is listing as a https://avinash.com, right? So definitely this user will take a help of web browser. The web browser may be anything like Mozilla, Firefox, anyone, Opera, Internet Explorer, right? The request firstly goes to this. Whenever this user types the domain name in the web browser will connect to the web server, and this web browser basically request to this web server, can you give your identity? It means it will request that can you identify yourself. In response to the web browser, it will send one digital certificate. It means it will send one copy of SSL certificate to the browser. In order to respond to the web server, finally that this particular web server, it will send the digital signed acknowledgement to this particular web server, and that's how that the communications between the web server and the browser will be completely encrypted. So whatever the data he is posting, this user is posting to avinash.com, right, that will be fully secured, that will be completely encrypted, that is going through between the web browser and the particular web server. So I hope now your concept is totally clear that how SSL works. Now let's move towards the practicals. Okay guys, now so let's get back return on the practical lab, and right now I am going to generate the SSL keys. In order to generate the SSL keys, you must have Openssl installed. I am using the CentOS 7, and which is Openssl is already installed on my system. So if it is, in your case, if it is not installed, it is very simple. You can simply install yum install Openssl. So now, firstly, I am going to generate the private keys, and the bit number is 2048. So now you can see that I have generated this private keys. Now I am going to generate another keys basically by extracting from this key pair.key. Why I am doing this? Because I need to perform the testing. And under the testing section, I'm going to run web server based on the HTTPD, and I'm going to use this certificate. So the best way is to remember your keys, whether you can give the key name on the name of your domain name or the IP address. So in my case, it is the IP address. My system IP address is 192.168.56.109. So let me run this. So now you can see that this key is also ready, and now I need to generate the certificate signing request that is called CSR. Okay, so here again I need to give my IP address, which I copy from here, and then since this key is also on the name of IP, like you can see here, let me show you where ILS. Okay, let me Control C. So this key is also here, right? So that's why we need to run this command 109 dot key, and then we can out CSR file. So first name, it is saying country name. Let's suppose that I am putting SG, city name also I am putting SG, organization name I say Dev, organizational unit I say DevOps, common name of the server, anything is okay, email address okay, no need password, company okay. So you can see that here the CSR file is also generated. Now we need to finally configure the CRT file, that is the main certificate file, and we will create it by using this CSR and the key file. Okay, so now we need to simply mention here the IP address, then here also the IP address, and then here the also CSR file is also created on the name of IP address. Okay, so there is a 2 dot, here is also we need to delete one, and we are good to go to generate the CRT, that is means certificate file. So now we have all three files are ready. We have all three certificates are ready: CRT, CSR, and key. Okay, so this is the way that we can generate the required certificate in order to apply SSL certificate on Apache web server or the HTTPD web server. Now what I am going to do, now I'm going to perform the testing, and I'm going to use all these three keys on the Apache web server, and we will see that whether our Apache or the HTTPD based web server is running on HTTPS or not. So you can see that we have already all the certificate files are ready, the required certificate files are ready. So I'm going to move these keys on particular location so I can use it in my Apache web server or HTTPD web server. Okay, so this is the CentOS 7 and I have already installed the HTTPD. That means I'm going to run my web server on HTTPD. Okay, so I'm going under the path HTTPD, and here I am making the path HTTP certificate. Okay, now I am going to copy all these keys one by one to under this path. I'm going to copy CSR as well. Let me check that. So we have all three files copied here. Now, since let's start our HTTPD web server. So I'm going under the configurations and httpd.conf, right? So I'm going to run my server on a specific address. So I want to run my web server on my IP address. So I'm giving a 192.168.56.109, which is a IP of my web server, and then I say system ctl restart httpd. So it is saying that it is failing somewhere. Let me check that why it is failing. listen 192.168 is 0. Let me run it again. Status TLS certificate does not exist. Okay, so we need to mention this certificate, the certificate which I have generated, that I need to define here at these locations as well. Okay, as under the SSL con. Okay, so you can see that our certificate is placed under this path. Okay, and now we need to go through this path. Let's go here. Okay guys, one more thing which I would like to highlight there. When you want to use the SSL certificate with your Apache web server, right, you need to install this package yum install mode_SSL. Okay, and that's how that you will get these locations, because these are the locations where we need to place our certificate, and that's how that your web server, the Apache or the HTTPD based web server, is going to run on the SSL certificate. Okay, so now we will go down. We will search the key file, server key file. We will, okay, and here it is. The path is etc httpd. Okay, let me copy this first, this whole path. Where we run this pwd. Okay, no worries. Let me go there. It will be easy for me to copy this path here. Just come down. Yeah. So we need to mention these at two places. Here it will come certificate file. It means .crt file. So the name is 192.168.56.109. .crt. Okay, now same thing we need to do. So now we need to define the key file as well, and the key file is 192.168.56.109.key. Okay, so in order to run our web server on SSL certificate, we need to define two things. One is certificate file, that is .crt, and second one is certificate key file, that is .key file. Okay, so now I'm going to start the Apache web server, and let's check that systemctl restart httpd. So it has been restarted successfully. Let's check the status whether it's running or there is any error. It's running fine. There is no any error. Now we are going to access this web server. So as of now, there is no any index.html pages on the document root. So we are now going to receive the by default Apache banner. So now you can see that, guys, I am running HTTP or this particular web server on HTTPS 168.56.109, and since you can see that right now we are getting the Apache default page as of now, and it is successfully running on HTTPS. However, since it is the Openssl certificate and we are not buying from the authorized vendor, that's why still it is showing that not secure, but it is running internally on HTTPS. And if you see the certificate validations, it is valid until 2023. Okay, so now let's put something on the document root where www and html, and here we are currently there is nothing, and this is the document root of the Apache web server. So we are going to create index.html page, one page, and just I am keeping it some marquee and say I love my India. restart web server, systemctl, restart httpd, started. Let's refresh it. And now you can see that I love my India, and this content is coming from the document root of the Apache, and this Apache web server is successfully running on HTTPS. So guys, that's all for this lecture guys. So we have seen that how the SSL works. Then after that we have generated our SSL certificate, and finally we have tested and verified with the Apache HTTPD web server. And we have also seen that where we need to place the SSL certificate inside the SSL conf file. So that's all for the day guys. Okay guys, so that's all for the day. I hope you really enjoyed my lecture, and I will see you in my upcoming tutorials. Stay tuned with the learning destinations. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and share it with your friends and the colleagues. I will see you in my next lecture. Till the time, bye bye. Thank you so much for watching this. You have a good day.